A few years ago, I struggled with the tightest hamstrings and had the worst high hamstring tendinitis. I tried a lot of things for relief, like foam rolling and stretching, but nothing ever seemed to really stick overnight. I only made progress when I realized my hamstrings were not just tight, but also really weak, even despite having a decent deadlift. By strengthening my hamstrings in all ranges of motion, I not only gained flexibility, but I also improved my strength, and I haven't experienced a single hamstring strain since. In this short video, I'll share 3 key exercise progressions that completely transformed my hamstrings in hopes to save you guys from the years of trial and error I went through. And if you stay until the end, I'll share a game-changing bonus that's potentially more important than all 3 exercise progressions combined. We'll start with elephant walks, which are really good for lower back pain, but also double as a really powerful hamstring stretch. Begin with a high box and aim for 36 reps per leg. Yes, 36 reps will take a few minutes and a fair bit of focus. Fortunately, you only have to do these once per session, twice a week, so make sure to give them all you got. Take your time, breathe deeply, and gradually work your way down to the floor through the next weeks. And most importantly, please just never push through pain. As you progress, you'll develop the flexibility and strength to comfortably perform Jefferson curls with your own torso. Now, the million-dollar question for Jefferson curls is always, how heavy should I go? As far as hamstring flexibility goes, you could get a ton of exceptional stimulus by training Jefferson curl just once a week with 25% of body weight or less. Instead of increasing weight, it could often be more productive to progress deeper form over time. But if you compete in a sport like wrestling or MMA, where you may literally need to Jefferson curl another adult man, 25% of body weight should just be a start. Step 2, Romanian deadlift RDL progression. Romanian deadlifts RDLs have the greatest potential for strength through length out of any hamstring motion in my opinion. But there's a key point that many people actually miss. Instead of pushing down from your heels, shift your center of gravity over to the middle of your foot and push through your toes instead. This activates muscles that start in your toes and run up your lower legs, allowing for a more effective stretch of your entire posterior chain, not just your hamstrings. If you don't have the mobility to perform RDLs from the floor without rounding your back, start at a height that you can manage and gradually work your way down over time. Using a rack to pull from can be extremely helpful here. I found hitting RDLs once a week for 3 to 5 sets and 6 to 10 reps a sweet spot for improving hamstring length. Step 3, hamstring curl, Nordic progression. While common leg exercises like squats, deadlifts, glute bridges, and leg presses primarily train knee extension, knee flexion can often be underdeveloped. Beginners could get started by getting exceptionally strong in any hamstring curl machine and using different angles if available. However, even one hamstring curl variation in Nordics are more than enough to develop world-class hamstring. For Nordic curls, find an immovable padded surface and start with hip elevation, or assistance from a band if you have the means to this setup. With consistent practice over months, you'll be able to lower your hip elevation and feel the ability to powerfully contract your hamstrings, eventually gaining the strength to eccentrically lower yourself. I program hamstring curls and Nordics once per week. Bonus, hip flexor lengthening. Because the hip flexors are an antagonist muscle to the hip extensor muscles, lengthening the hip flexors will raise the potential range of motion your hamstrings could be used in. 2 of the most effective exercises for this purpose are couch stretch and ATG split squat. For couch stretch, begin by kneeling and squeezing the glute of your back leg. Shift your hips into a posterior pelvic tilt rather than an anterior pelvic tilt. This pulls some of the slack out of your hip flexor muscles and makes the stretch more productive. As you progress, work on getting your foot flush against the wall while contracting your back glute and maintaining a posterior pelvic tilt. You should try to aim for 3 sets of 60 seconds per leg, which should be pretty tiring if you're constantly reminding yourself to recontract your back glute. Regarding the ATG split squat, I have a separate video you could check out right here on how to do it in less than 60 seconds. Thanks for watching. Remember to listen to your body, progress gradually, and always prioritize proper form. And most importantly, always breathe deeply through any movements or stretches that you're doing. If you found any of the information in this video helpful, please feel free to save it or send it to a friend with tight hamstrings. Make sure to subscribe for weekly videos, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.